the need for additional proposals, Chair Gensler and Director Zhu have taken a wrecking ball to every corner of our current equity market structure.
Do you think it is in our interest to have a seat at the table and lead, or are we better off just sitting down and letting other countries take the leadership? Because after all, we don't have to work as hard if they do all the work for us.
Well, Gary Gensler has taken this public stance that there's no lack of clarity in the industry. There's only a lack of compliance, which is honestly disingenuous because...
Of course, that 2.1 trillion was, what was that a year ago? A lot higher.
Yeah, it's had some volatility in large measure due to the lack of legal clarity. And so hopefully this committee will...
Really encouraged in the U.S. to see real-time payments through the clearinghouse live, FedNow moving ahead rather quickly. Very good movement. What we would like to see as the next step is to allow international payments to be paid out over those rails.
Came from a Grateful Dead super fan.
I've been a Grateful Dead fan for 50 years, so...
We're working to get rid of Gary Gensler. I gave a hearing where I was able to communicate with him and say, look, I plan to fire you.
Enjoy the ride, pal.
Got some bags. Welcome to the party. Welcome back to some more. 1 o'clock news. No breakfast, no coffee. Just straight extra. Extra. Bullishness. Shout out to the latest sub, Coach RJ in the building. Appreciate you stopping by. Stuffing some bags. Go ahead. Throw on those moon suits. Throw on those pilot shades. Buckle up. Because the future's extra. Extra. Bullish. Let's go full speed, full throttle. Into the cryptoverse. We got the total global cryptocurrency market cap today at 1.21 trillion, up about 0.4% in the past 24 hours. We got BTC's dominance at around 48.1%. We got XRP in that number 6 spot, right around 49.50 cents, down about 0.5 in the past 24, up about 4.6% in the past 7 days. We got Stellar at around 0.086, up about 14.9 in the past 7 days. We got BTC right around 30K, ETH right around 18, 19 hundo, Flare Networks right around 0.015, Songbird 006, we got BPM 001, we got XLIST 00026, Expector right around 5-6 cents, we got ELS 0.00199, EQ 0.038, and we got Casino Coin here 000134142. Stuart Alderati, MAS SG has built a workable framework that truly unites consumer protection, market integrity, and innovation. They also outline a clear taxonomy to classify and regulate digital assets, making it possible for companies like Ripple to build and offer compliant products. Breaking news, Ripple were honored to obtain in-principle approval of a major payment institution license from MAS SG, allowing us to offer regulated digital asset products and services and scale customer use of on-demand liquidity. XRP. SEC who? Brad Garland House says as a major global financial center, Singapore led the way in taking a pragmatic, innovation-first approach to crypto. We're incredibly proud. Ripple is one of the handful of firms, less than 20, to receive in-principle approval or MAS MPA license for digital payment token services. Crypto firm Ripple gets in-principle payment license in Singapore. CNBC. SEC stifling American innovation, but the rest of the world plugged in to the RippleNet. Will US be left behind? Monica Long React says as RippleNet grows into a platform of regulated crypto-enabled services like instant settlement and liquidity, obtaining licenses in jurisdictions like Singapore is key. I'm especially excited for the potential for growth here. APAC is already a huge market for Ripple with on-demand liquidity volumes flowing through Singapore going over 5x year on year in 2022. They know what's coming. We know what's coming, and they can't stop it. But the SEC trying to stifle American innovation and shake out some weak hands because they know what's coming. We got Watch Subcommittee Chairman Rep. Ann Wagner. Today's hearing, Chair Gensler and Director Zhu have taken a wrecking ball to every corner of our current equity market structure in one fell swoop.
Typically, when agencies seek to make meaningful reforms, they do so by advancing one targeted proposal at a time and by presenting clear and convincing evidence of a problem or failure warranting such a drastic policy change. In the case of market structure reform proposals under Chair Gensler, the SEC has done neither. Instead of starting with one surgical proposal and observing its impacts after implementation to assess the need for additional proposals, Chair Gensler and Director Zhu have taken a wrecking ball to every corner of our current equity market structure in one fell swoop. And they've done so without any definitive explanation or identifying any systemic market problems or failures. You might be saying to yourself, well, surely the SEC can point to some economic effects of the proposals that justify such major reforms. But yet again, the SEC comes up short. Throughout its economic analysis of the proposals, the SEC explicitly concedes numerous times that the economic effects of the proposals are unknowable. If that wasn't enough, the SEC's economic analysis are also improperly based on data that the SEC itself admits is outdated and inaccurate.
Gary, you still there? Got him on that blockchain trail. Get those jumpsuits. Get those gel cells ready.
John Deaton says, for the record, this news from Ripple is fairly significant. Less than 20 companies have received such licenses in Singapore, and XRP will be utilized. Yet XRP doesn't move up even a little if all XRP holders in the world are in a common enterprise with Ripple and relying on the successful efforts of Ripple, you would expect XRP to react. Yet it does what it always does, follow Bitcoin in the macro environment. That's because of market manipulation. They're holding this thing down, meanwhile giving clarity to BTC and Ethereum. Also, we got Dark Defender responds and says, I don't think so and disagree with this statement. XRP would have a similar technical move compared to Bitcoin if XRP followed BTC. Believing this argument substantiates their different dynamics, although both are in the same arena. I understand but disagree with the perspective stating if Bitcoin succeeds and the rest will also. All coins follow BTC doesn't mean that XRP always follows BTC, which is not always true. With the recent developments Ripple initiated in the world in line with his strategies, there is expected to be a total slip point from one to the other. For the record, I think with clarity, XRP will soon dominate Bitcoin. This is not a wish, but a fact when I search for the answers to the below questions. Number one, who owns the majority of BTC? Two, did the one who has the most BTC decide to sell somehow all of them to collect the excessive money printed out? Number three, why would people be interested in a slow and excessively energy dependent asset, outdated technology? Number four, would people be more interested in an asset with regulatory clarity? Number five, what would happen to BTC when XRP has complete clarity? Number six, do people think that XRP will follow BTC after the lawsuit and after the utility kicks in? And then finally, when I answer above by myself, I don't see any superiority BTC has against XRP except the people's perception and the media manipulation. We're so close, actually, on the verge of XRP domination. The flipping. We got Fojack, Mr. Pool, APAC, Ripple. Mr. Pool knows, 10/30/2021. We got 801 XRP, Gary Gensler sending his colleagues out to take these haymakers.
As we know, the Europeans are ahead of us on all these things. They are putting out a bunch of rules. Lots of the companies who we all represent or have constituents who work there are often coming to us and saying, my employer is a multinational. They are, being forced to comply with these European rules. As a regulator, do you think it is in our interest to have a seat at the table and lead, or are we better off just sitting down and letting other countries take the leadership? Because after all, we don't have to work as hard if they do all the work for us.
Congressman, should any rules in Europe get developed prior to our rule, that will be part of the baseline, to use the technical term again. In terms of what our strategy is in terms of a seat at the table, I'm afraid that's out of my lane, so I'm not going to speak to that.
Well, I guess maybe I'll just close with the observation that there is a strong push here for you all to do nothing on this, with the assumption that in a global vacuum, no one else is going to act. And I realize that it's easier to stay asleep, but I'd like to thank you for staying awoke. I yield back.
Mr. Huber, the best blockchains in the world, according to the Chinese Ministry of Truth. We got detailed scores of the first crypto ratings by CCID Research, Chinese Ministry of the Industry and Information Technology. Of course, they got Ethereum here at the number 1 ranking. We got Stellar here, number 6. BTC here down at 13. And then we got XRP here, the far superior technology, hidden in plain sight in the number 17 spot. They know what you hold, but they don't want you accumulating anymore. Youngster says crypto suffers from lack of compliance, not a lack of clarity, but the Hinman documents put the lie to this idea.
SEC has taken this public stance, at least Gary Gensler has taken this public stance, that there's no lack of clarity in the industry. There's only a lack of compliance, which is honestly disingenuous because, as you can tell, back in 2021, if the SEC cleared this IPO, there were people within the SEC who thought that Coinbase was above board, that they weren't doing anything shady. And so it really just doesn't add up. And there's a number of other lawsuits that are going on in the background as well, in which certain documents have been released, which again show a lack of internal consensus in the SEC itself on what these digital assets are. Are they securities or are they something else? Do they deserve their own asset classification category altogether? I mean, the truth is there is no consensus within the SEC on that point, but Gary Gensler seems to be selling the SEC as if that were the case, but it's honestly not. And that's what's frustrating people in crypto. They just want clarity at the end of the day.
It seems like everyone's starting to see all the corruption going on with the SEC, Gary Gensler, Bill Hinman, Jay Clayton. And once Ripple beats out the SEC, we'll expose them even more.
And then we're going to throw a real party.
We got Stellar ramp powers interoperability between digital wallets and global on and off ramps on Stellar
with one integration, how wallets and on and off ramps work together.
CoinDesk Crypto appears to have some staying power. Federal Reserve Jerome Powell.
Mr. Davidson.
So when I think about some of the dynamics that are going on in the market related to banks, non-banks, securities, not securities, one agency in particular has been very activist in this place over at the SEC, and it's kind of tangentially related to the Fed. Crypto and digital assets in the U.S. has got a market cap of around $1.1 trillion right now. It's been there for a bit. Do you acknowledge that this asset class has staying power in the U.S. economy?
It appears to have some staying power. Of course, that 2.1 trillion was, what was that a year ago? A lot higher.
Yeah. It's had some volatility in large measure due to the lack of legal clarity. And so hopefully this committee will help that quite a lot here this summer with at least two bills, one on stable coins and one on market structure. And it'll be clear not just for Congress, but for regulators, including Chairman Gensler and obviously market participants, whether they're forming the ideas or investing in the ideas or participating in the activities in the space.
There's a new day coming. Load up while you still have some time.
The ISO 20022, let's do it. Ripple Ryan Zagone speaking at the FinTech conference by the New York Fed on wholesale digital assets.
Mentions FedNow.
Faster payments in the UK is a good example. It's Instant, a good example. You can pay out an international transfer over those domestic rails that are instant. Really encouraged in the US to see real-time payments through the clearinghouse live. FedNow moving ahead rather quickly. Very good movement. What we would like to see as the next step is to allow international payments to be paid out over those rails. Today, the scheme rules for those two rails do not allow international payments to be paid out. So as we would go to pay out in the U.S. to recipients in the U.S., we can't make a payment over those rails. We think a good and a prudent approach is to launch just domestic. That makes sense. But to expand those rules out to then also allow for international payouts, much like you see is done successfully in the UK and other markets. And then finally, our last policy priority is around transparency. But why is a key part of our growth in that we show the total cost to customers. We don't have any margin hidden in the FX rate. So you see your total cost and you can take that and compare to other providers to know exactly what you'll pay. It differs from some other providers in the market. We'll advertise free payments or a $5 fee or no fee.
Crawl walk. Then we rock it.
We got X Anderson, former Ripple advisor.
All roads lead to the Universal Bridge.
Christine Lagarde says it was a pleasure to meet Michael Esbar at the Federal Reserve Vice Chair for Supervision in Frankfurt today.
Former Ripple board member, Christine Lagarde. You know what's coming. They know what's coming. They can't stop it.
We got Not Financial Advice Crypto. Well, there was a subtle nod to Ripple at yesterday's press conference, or just a coincidence. Jerome Powell says he's been a Grateful Dead fan for 50 years. Congressman Willie Nickel responds, I found one universal truth. I like people who like the Grateful Dead. And then we got Ripple's 2018 video about how they got started. Chris Larson, we've always loved the Grateful Dead.
URL for Ripple, which is kind of a funny story. And then we also were lucky enough to be able to acquire the URL for Ripple, which is kind of a funny story. It came from a Grateful Dead super fan. It's related to the song Ripple from the Grateful Dead. We always loved the Grateful Dead.
From public reporting that you were at the most recent Dead & Company show, how was the show? Did you like it?
Oh, it was terrific. What can I say? So, it was great. I've been a Grateful Dead fan for 50 years, so.
Well, I've found one universal truth. I like people who like the Grateful Dead.
It's related to the song Ripple from the Grateful Dead. We always loved the Grateful Dead.
Another glitch in the matrix, or another confirmation that XRP
was the chosen one. Choice is yours.
We got BPM Revelers. We're excited to announce that BPM Revelers will be releasing a new collection that will be a free mint. The collection will be called Dreamers. All Reveler holders will be able to mint 2 Dreamers for every 1 Reveler's NFT held within the first 48 hours. We got public mint will also be free and allow you to mint up to 3 Dreamers per wallet address. There will be a snapshot of all revelers held, and we will announce a date for that soon. The mint date is currently TBC, but will be in July. Dreamers are completely unique, with all traits sketched and then penciled and then inked or being scanned and painted in Photoshop by our revelers artist, Yasko. Retweet this to spread the message. All revelers holders will be able to mint 2 Dreamers for every 1 revelers NFT held. We got a new drop here from T-Boon 8, TI Project, XRP Moon Mission, Stainless Steel, Dog Tag.
Now available.
Links will be down below. XRP Moon Mission, pick up a stainless steel. Dog Tag. And finally, XRP Army, be patient, XRP Crypto. Tesla kept on ranging for 2,324 days, 6.3 years. The world is full of foolish gamblers, and they will not do as well as the patient investors. XRP Army was noted to be one of the smartest investors in the space. Just be patient, and the longer they take, the higher we climb on that XRP rich list. Where will you be when that regulation jar of molasses finally breaks open and XRP's true price is finally set free? Bye-bye glitches. I am the XRP Bagman, the Moon Commander, currently up here on the mothership, stuffing some bags and enjoying the show. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in, smashing those likes for some more Moon O'Clock news. Hope y'all continue to stay extra bullish out there. Continue holding those good vibes. Remember to sell the FUD, buy up those bags. Don't forget to spread that liquid love. Also, if you're new here, don't forget to drop a subscribe, drop a comment down below. All the OG diamond hands out there, drop a comment down below, drop an elbow on that like button from the top ropes. Catch you up here, top floor on the mothership for the moon party. BYOB. Bring your own bags, be your own bank, be your own boss. Peace out, crypto ghosts.
The SEC settle, we blasting off the ghetto. Big bags on me, middle fingers to the devils. Rocket fly itself, no keys, no pedals. RippleNet memos, him and got the pose. This was all a show, they want you out for show. Now they been exposed. Why a lawsuit on your last day going out the door? Got you on that blockchain trail. SEC getting paid in ether. Bitcoin hella slow, do some research. I don't wanna be your crypto teacher. Stop asking me what to buy, it's on my t-shirt. Moon Commander in a rocket, bout to leave Earth. The SEC settle, we blasting off the ghetto.